October 12th, 2025. It is approximately 12:08 p.m. on that eastern side. Now, y'all know we done flipped them poles, so it might be western. I don't know. But I'm D'Amica, and it's time for hashtag Lost Souls Tarot Cards, our portals to truth. Yes, 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 yes. Reality is here. Reality is here. How have you all been doing? All right. Thank you for coming across my video, and thank you for taking the time to just see what's going on in the community and in the realm, okay, on an astrological level and on just a physical level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level, all that good stuff. All right. I'm praying for each and every one of us that we come across self-realization. Love yourself above anything else, right? And don't compete, not even with yourself. All right. All right. So I am also the author of hashtag Reverse the Negative. D'Amica, that's my name. And then there's me. That me on the back of it. Can you tell? About to get my hair back long. You know what I'm saying? It's already happening. You know it. Before we start the transmission and pull some tarot cards out, pull out some portals, I couldn't sleep overnight. I couldn't sleep, but it wasn't a bad one where, okay, overthinking came, right? But I just could not sleep, okay? So I cleaned my kitchen, and this was from 10 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m. I cleaned my kitchen, I mopped my floors, I wrote a poem, and I would like to share that poem with you all right now. And it's called An Ode to Overthinking. Now, typically I would read you a poem out of my Bible, hashtag Reverse the Negative, or a random thought, or a haiku. But today, I want to go ahead and share this poem with you all. Let me get to it. And it's called An Ode to Overthinking. Okay? Why are you here? Yes, I'm speaking to you, negative thoughts. Why invade our personal space with disbelief? You do realize that by thinking a problem exists is the creation of a problem that leads to problems that now exist? Why do you evade our imagination of powerful manifestations, yet leave me with your pile of shit? Literally, it's a bunch of bullshit that you left. Regrets, procrastinations, no belief in the supreme power we hold and distribute to all, even those not on our frequencies. Just left with confusion and manipulative attributes towards us, well, me, because you left. Why do you run from freedom? Instead, you try to stay present in hardship and hurt, wanting me to focus on anything and everyone else's journey and freedom as if they were truly free? You crack me up at 2:56 in the morning, intentionally waiting for witching hours. Why not just relax and enjoy all the rewards granted to us? At this point, of course, you still get a reward, overthinking. Yes, you. If it weren't for you or your intrusive thoughts, I would have went to sleep and let you linger into the next day. I wouldn't have cleaned the kitchen, mopped my floors, and worked on much needed projects for our future. I would have went on this long journey of alchemizing something that was never supposed to exist. Why am I writing this poem dedicated to you? Because despite all the complaining about your disposable thoughts, just creating a dialogue of lies, instead, we created this masterpiece. We created this portal of truth. And is it so hard to believe that I still love you? Through all the lies and manipulation, I still fucking love you wholeheartedly. I guess the last question I will ask is, why are you overthinking, my love? I sing to you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Ay, ay, hey, but you're perfect for me. I love you, overthinking. And that's the end of it. I wrote that. I did that on October 12th, 2025. I told you, I could not rest. I could not sleep. I could not allow my body to transition into whatever realm I was going to go and travel into. Okay. But I decided to alchemize it in a different way. Instead of sitting there in the overthinking state of mind, I was like, you know what? I haven't written a poem in a while. And that's one of my goals, is to start creating another book, a few books, right? But I just wanted to throw that out there, this little poem that I wrote, an ode to overthinking. And here's a quote, just one quick quote. And this comes from James Clear. Overthinking is the art of solving problems you don't have. Oh my goodness, what? Did he not say it correctly? Overthinking is the art of solving problems you don't have. Come on now. All right, so let's go ahead and welcome in these energies and these spirits. All right, beloveds, let's get into it. I already got that back door open so that wind can flow through. I got the feathers present, I mean. All day when I go out for walks, if I see a feather, I don't care how small it is, I pick it up. You know what I mean? I pick that feather up. All right. Not too long ago, I made a transmission about how I found 4 feathers. And go ahead and look up the symbolizations for 4 feathers. Once we get into the transmission, if I remember, then I'll go ahead and do it. All right, so let's go ahead and ring this bell and welcome in all energies and life forms at this time. We would like to welcome in all energies and life forms at this time. You must come through with your truth. You are not allowed to come with any lies, any manipulations. No, you're not. You are not allowed to attack the collective at any time, at any given time. Their power is rendered back to them at all times. Do you believe it? You best believe it. Let's get into it. Ashe. Thank you to the ancestors and the spirits and just the universe in general, all the mysterious, mystical, unknown beings out there. Hey! All right, beloveds. So we already did a shuffle. Let's go ahead and shuffle again. Comment below if you had trouble sleeping overnight. And what did you do to get through that moment? Okay. I did hop on YouTube. I set a little timer on YouTube and social media apps so that I'm not overindulging. So as soon as I hopped on YouTube, you know, it was like, it's your bedtime. And I was like, all right, 15 minutes. 15 more minutes. Like I'm late for school. Or like I don't want to get ready for school. Want to know what's so petty about me? Growing up, I used to set my mother's alarm an hour before the time she was supposed to get up. I would set her clock so when she would go to sleep, if it would say 12:16 a.m., I would set the clock back to 11:16 p.m. so that I can get an extra hour of sleep. Boy, and this was before the time of cell phones. Okay, what? That was petty. But boy, oh boy, that extra hour, when she found that out, oh my God. All right, so let's get to the bottom of the community helpers. All right, so we're going to have 2 states coming out. We're talking about Minnesota and Nevada, okay? So the whole storyline is going to be based on Minnesota and Nevada. Let's get it. All right, we got the color blue, 5th chakra, all right, calmness, trust, and communication, peace, serenity. So, Minnesota and Nevada, either you are coming about on a calmness and trust and a communication within your community, okay, of peace and serenity, despite whatever was going on. Okay, focus on that blue, that 5th chakra, okay? Harmony. All right, be spontaneous. Whoever's living in Minnesota and Nevada, or this could just be in general talking about the state of Minnesota and Nevada, be spontaneous. Have a profound and sudden experience and just go for it. There's connection there. It requires awareness, and you need to trust your instinct. No one else's. Trust your instinct. All right, here we go. Terrifying terrorists turned political cartels. Terrifying terrorists turned into political cartels. Okay, so Minnesota and Nevada. Okay, we got big states there, right? A lot that done happened in Minnesota and Nevada, okay? National parks and things like that, okay? So what this is letting us know is there are some terrifying terrorists that have turned into political cartels within Minnesota and Nevada, okay? That's what we're focusing on the storyline for today. Embrace the unknown mystery of your abundant evolution. Woo! Minnesota and Nevada, talk to me. Y'all evolving abundantly. But you got to embrace in the unknown. Oh, this came in the reverse. I'm not going to read the back. You will see the back, but I'm not going to read it. Karma arrived in a big way. So it came in the reverse. So you guys have dealt with your karma. Some of you have dealt with your karma, right? And a lot of you are still going to deal with your karma. Well, that's just what the energy that we put into the realm, right? Good or bad, what is that, right? But there is a right and a wrong, I believe. There is law, universal laws that have been broken, I know. Okay. So embrace the unknown mystery of abundant evolution, okay? And then karma will not be arriving you in a big way. That's what I'm getting from that. Oh, okay. Portal number 7. Stop lying. We know. Minnesota and Nevada. We're going to look up those states in a little bit so that we can get a little bit of history on Minnesota and Nevada. And it goes, stop lying. We know. And that's so true. Those that are on different frequencies, we don't want to say higher or lower. You can say higher or lower. But those that are on different frequencies, we know. We know. Whatever frequency you're on, you know. Right? It goes back to that instinct. Trust your instincts, that gut feeling, that intuition that you have. Trust that. Embrace it. All right, let's get into it. We got some coordinates here. Orion, saucer base, 1978. Got some coordinates. 30 degrees, 40 miles north, 86 degrees, 50 miles west. All right, let's look up Orion, saucer base, 1978 real quick. And then, again, we'll get into Minnesota and Nevada. Orion saucer base 1978. 1978. Orion saucer base 1978. That is not the coordinates that we got here. So the coordinates on here is 31 degrees 50 miles north, 1,119 miles 48 feet west. Okay. Maybe that's 110 degrees and they put 110. They put 1100. It's a saucer base below intelligence training, above mind control. Okay, Gate Pass base, Gila Mountain area, south of Interstate 8 and approximately 30 east of Yuma, Arizona. So mind control. All right, mind control base, Arizona. It has something to do with the Cheyenne Mountain complex. Check out my other transmissions too if you have time, right? Time is what we make it. We control time. So you can be enjoying something and you're not even realizing how much time you put into that energy, especially if it's just, you should have your notebooks and your pens, correct? If you're learning, right? Learning and applying. So no weapons formed against you shall prosper. And that's for all right? Have resilience. You will overcome. You have divine protection. Whatever's going on with this situation, stop lying. We know though. Have resilience. Divine protection is here. You will overcome with this whole Orion saucer base 1978. So maybe Minnesota and Nevada was affected. Right? That was portal 9. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. Portal number 10. We got 15 episodes. January 21st, 2013 through April 29th, 2013. Ooh, let's look that up. Y'all hear the fire trucks out there? They going crazy. Let's look up 15 episodes. I be waving at them, y'all. Yeah. And a few of them way back. (2013). Okay, so let's look that up. We got 15 episodes. Oh, well, SmackDown Wrestling came up. List of 2013 American television debuts. That's Wikipedia. I'm getting WWE, so this has something to do with WWE, Minnesota. I was going to say Manassas. Minnesota and Nevada. Some with the WWE. Season. No, I got 15. They're bringing up season 15. I got Law and Order up here. Ooh, I should have been a little bit more descriptive, Spirit. Alright, but that came out. 15 episodes, okay? January 21st, January 21st, 2013 through April 29th of 2013. All right, so we got portal number 11 coming up. Lost World was inaccessible to humans, but not us. Hashtag 999. So Minnesota and Nevada, could you be a gateway to the Lost World? Let's see. Lost World, right? Let's see. Lost World. Well, of course, they're going to bring up Jurassic Park, which was filmed in California. All right, we got Land of the Lost. Comment below if you know where the Lost World is. Could that be like the Journey to the Center of the Earth type of situation? Portal number 12. They created every disease, including autism. Okay, they created every disease, including autism. Autism. When was autism first diagnosed? Donald Triplett was an American banker known for being the first person diagnosed with autism. He was first diagnosed, okay, he was the first person diagnosed with autism. Let's see. He was diagnosed by Leo Kanner in 1943 and was labeled as Case 1. Triplett was noted for his 7 abilities, particularly the ability to name musical notes played on the piano and the ability to perform rapid mental multiplication. You call me?
Nah, I thought you said 6, 7.
Oh Lord, 6, 7. All right, so he was born September 8th, 1933 in Mississippi. Presbyterian. Okay. Died in 2023 at the age of 89. June 15, 2023 from cancer. Age of 89. I'm trying to see where was his diagnosis at. All right. So we also got portal number 13 coming out. Okay, portal number 13. We got McCook, Nebraska. So we got Nevada up here, and then we also got as above, so below symbol. So we're going to look up McCook, Nebraska as well, and then also Minnesota and Nevada. On the map, I'm looking at Elevate Wellness. I'm looking at Community Hospital, Cayuse Farm Market, McCook Regional Airport. All of these, as above, so below. McCook, Nebraska is the city and the county seat of Red Willow County, Nebraska, United States. The population was, in 2020, 7,446. Established in 1882 when the Burlington and Missouri River Railroad was extended to that point. It was named in honor of Alexander McCook, a brigadier general in the Union Army during the American Civil War. So as above, so below with McCook, Nebraska. Let's see if we can look up dark history. Dark history. Oh, it pops right on up. It never fails. Comprehensive list of the most haunted places in McCook, Nebraska, each with ghostly history, photos, maps, GPS coordinates, and much more. Ooh. Ooh, y'all know that's my little D'Amica sisters is tingling right now. Let me get into that real quick. Real quick. Let's get into that. I'm going to also have this in the description box. You should always check the description box so you all can do your own research and take your own notes. All right, so we got Devil's Canyon. Woo, that sounds like it. As above, so below. We got Devil's Canyon, a dirt road located 7 miles north of McCook on East 11th Street, leads to what locals have named Devil's Canyon. All right. It is an old and sad story. Over 100 years ago, a man is said to have killed his wife and kids here, then killed himself, nicknamed the Duke. All right, we got Shirley K's Coffee Shop. All right, 24.9 miles from McCook, Nebraska. This quaint coffee shop and pharmacy store is haunted by two ghosts. According to employees, it's a pharmacy store and a coffee shop. I mean, okay. Okay. During the hours between dusk and dawn, the owner of the place has reportedly seen the apparition of an elderly man in an old-fashioned magenta suit, whilst another member of staff saw a woman. I'm only going to read portions. Of course, you got to do your own. Come on now. We got Plumer Street House, Maxwell, Nebraska, 60.8 miles from McCook. The Plumer Street House is near the center of town along the first part of the street nearest Maxwell Road. The two-story house is the site of many tortured souls and has been the site of many deaths. From the house have come wails and cries of tortured infants. Check the description box to get more info. All right, so that's McCook, Nebraska. A little bit about McCook, Nebraska. As above, so below. We're going to get into Minnesota because the vibe that I was getting from Minnesota and Nebraska, Nevada. I said Nebraska. Look at me. The vibe in the beginning of that I was getting was you're of calmness, trust. Now, you know we got to have a balance. If you got some of you all that are of calmness, trust, and communication, peace and serenity, you're spontaneous, okay? You have a connection with source. You're going for it. You're profound. You have profound and subtle experiences, and you're trusting your instincts. However, you also have the terrifying terrorists who have turned into political cults, okay? So Minnesota, state in the United States. Much of what is now Minnesota formed part of the vast French holding of Louisiana, which the United States purchased in 1803. After several territorial it just clicked. It is a state in the upper Midwestern region of the United States. It is bordered by the Canadian provinces of Manitoba and Ontario to the north and east, and by the U.S. states of Wisconsin to the east, Iowa to the south, and North and South Dakota to the west. The northeast corner has a water boundary with Michigan. It is the 12th largest U.S. state in area and the 22nd most populous, with about 5.8 million residents. Minnesota is known as the land of 10,000 lakes. Are you kidding me? As above, so below on that, baby. You know my theory, all lakes are man-made, and for what purpose? Okay. It has 14,420 bodies of fresh water covering at least 10 acres each. Roughly a third of the state is forested. Much of the remainder is prairie and farmland. More than 60% of Minnesotans, which is about 3.71 million, live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area known as the Twin Cities, which is Minnesota's main political, economic, and cultural hub. So could these terrorists that turned into political cartels be working out of Twin Cities? And the 16th largest metropolitan area in the U.S. Other minor metropolitan and micropolitan statistical areas include Duluth, Mankato, Moorhead, Rochester, and St. Cloud. All right, so we got Minnesota. Now let's get into Nevada. Please and thank you. Comment below where you're from. Where are you from? Where were you born, or what does it say on your birth certificate? I'm Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I landed here. My birth certificate said I landed here in 1981, July 23rd. I am from the Lyra constellation. I represent Lyra. All right, so we got Nevada here. Nevada is a landlocked state in the western United States. It is also sometimes placed in the Mountain West and southwestern United States. It borders Oregon to the northwest, Idaho to the northeast, California to the west, Arizona to the southeast, and Utah to the east. Ooh, we got, man, Nevada, as above, so below. As above, so below with that. Just that right there is impactful. Nevada is the 7th most extensive, the 32nd most populous, and the 9th least densely populated U.S. state. Nearly 3/4 of Nevada's population live in Clark County, which contains the Las Vegas Paradise metropolitan area, including three, as above, so below, including 3 of the state's 4 largest incorporated cities. Nevada's capital is Carson City, Las Vegas. It is Carson City. Las Vegas is the largest city in the state. Damn, okay. Nevada is the westernmost U.S. state, as above, so below, without coastline, and also the westernmost landlocked first-level country subdivision in the Americas. So we got Nevada and we got Minnesota. So now y'all already know what I'm about to look up. Correct. The dark history of Minnesota and Nevada. We just gonna put it both out there. Okay, and then this will also be in the description box. You gotta love it when you do your own research. All right, so we got Minnesota. The Dred Scott versus Sanford case in 1857 was a pivotal moment in the state's history as it challenged the legality of slavery in the territory. All right, the Scott's case led to the recognition of the presence of enslaved people in Minnesota and the legacy of Fort Snelling, where over 100 enslaved people were employed, continues to be a part of the state's history. All right, we got Nevada. The state, give me a second, because I don't want to lose where I'm at. The state has its share of ghost towns with violent histories, such as Raleigh, Belmont, and Hamilton, where conflicts and violence were common. These towns, once bustling mining camps, now stand as stark reminders of the state's tumultuous past. Got me sounding like a dang on AI joint real quick. Some of these words, I was like, All right, so we got Las Vegas out here. The city's history is intertwined with organized crime and the mobster era, leading to a unique and dark narrative. The stories of murder, mystery, and ghosts in Las Vegas reflect the city's complex history, with many haunted places and ghostly tales that have been passed down through generations. We got abandoned mines. Nevada's abandoned mines are haunted by legends of spectral miners, the Silver Shaft Curse, and lost souls. Not a. Well, you get what they say. With tales of apparitions and eerie noises that have intrigued and unsettled those who explore these sites. And you know what? I take that back. These dark history, I take that back. That is of us. Especially when they did say the lost souls, because this is exactly why we pulled this up, to look this up, okay? To bring recognition to these areas and what happened in these areas, good or bad, right or wrong. Got it? All right, so these dark histories contribute to rich tapestry of Minnesota and Nevada's identity, each telling a story that reflects the state's past and the challenges it has faced. All right. Whew. All right, no, I need something to drink. All right. So that is your community helpers for today. Please believe that I'm going to put everything inside either the resource box or it'll be next to the portal that we opened up. You'll be able to find it though. And it's nothing like learning something new, learning something old again, to sharpen it up. All right, so now y'all know what we about to get into some family members. Let's get into some family members. We're also going to get into the music, ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. We got yes, no, maybe questions you're going to ask yourself, zodiacs, planets, and star systems, and the universal laws. We got some new family members that came on in. Check out the other transmissions so you can see how much we have all grown, right? I'm a reflection of you. You are a reflection of me. All right, so let's get into the bottom of the family. Please and thank you. So let's get into it. All right, so you got family members out here. Your in-laws support and respect you with love. All right, that is amazing right there. So that could be those that are living in Minnesota and Nevada, or it can be for you in general. Again, comment where you live and where you're from, and just know that your in-laws support and respect you with love. Use that with discernment. You know your situation. All right, we got someone's male best friend that is in the energy. Someone's male best friend. You got your sister-in-law. All right, you got the sister-in-law that came out. Your sister is extremely untrustworthy and a liar is the fourth one that we pulled out. All right, so first one, your in-laws support and respect you with love. This could be this can be involving anyone, but again, the storyline is based on Minnesota and Nevada. So your in-laws support and respect you with love. Use that with discernment and use your intuition on your own situation. Focus on your male best friend, or your male best friend is focusing on you. Focus on your sister-in-law, or your sister-in-law is focusing on you. And your sister is extremely untrustworthy and a liar. All right, let's get these zodiac, star systems, solar systems, and these planes out. We still like to call them planets, but they are breaking free, or a lot of them have broken free from their nets and continuously creating new planes, okay? NASA don't know what's going on. They not on this frequency, baby. All right. And please believe I'm going to add those 88 constellations. Well, really, it's like 78 because I already have 10 constellations in here that I'm going to be, that are already in here. But so 78 more constellations are coming up in this bad boy. Let's get to the bottom. We got a Libra. What? It is y'all season. Y'all kept coming out. Check out the other transmissions if you like. You can fast forward to the Zodiac part. Later on down the road, I get a little bit more organized, where I can have the time slots next to the tiers or next to the main subjects. Okay, so we got Libra. All right, focus on your balance, your social interaction, and being fair. Okay, September 23rd through October 22nd, and I believe a lot of Libras are feeling that you should be a lot more balanced. All right, in order to acquire that social interaction, and you have to be fair. Okay, you're a Libra, you're the scales. I mean, come on now. All right, let's get into it. The planes and stars affect your behavior. So this could be towards a Libra that's living in Minnesota or Nevada, or just a Libra in general. Just know that the planes and the stars affect our behavior. We have a Pisces in this energy who needs to focus on spirituality, empathy, and intuition. Okay? February 19th through March 20th is very, very relevant. Let's see here, because we got Libra. Comment below if you know which body part the Libra and the Pisces represent. All right, so we got Libra here. Libra is representing your kidneys and your lower back, and the Pisces is representing where you at? Your feet. Okay, your feet. So you can focus on those areas in your body, right? This plane is coming in upside down. We got Uranus. It looked like Saturn upside down with my handwriting, but it's Uranus. It came in the reverse, okay? So, someone's not having a breakthrough or not having a moment of clarity. Beings aren't, okay? You're not focusing on individuality, okay? Maybe you're focusing too much on other aspects of the world. Focus on you. You are the ultimate mission. You got a Cancer in the energy. Again, this is Minnesota and Nevada, but it could be very well for you if it resonates. Focus on being more nurturing. Use your intuition and focus on your emotional sensitivity. June 21st through July 22nd could be relevant dates. All right, we got the whole sign house system. Okay, 2100 years old, making it the oldest form of house division. Preferred method. It is the preferred method that a lot of entities and beings use or have used. It determines how, for about 1,000 years, it determines houses for about 1,000 years after its inception. All signs are equal at 30 degrees. Intercepted signs cannot occur using the whole system. It takes the entire span of the zodiac sign that appears on the ascendant at birth as the first house. Some good information there. All right, so we got the whole sign house system that's coming on out representing. Cancer, you came on out again. All right, Cancer. All right, June 21st through July 22nd. Oh, ain't nothing there. We got a full moon in energy. All right, you're working with others. Okay, you have been working with others during a full moon. You're looking towards the full moon to work with others. What are your goals? Comment below. What's your goals during the full moon? You got a Capricorn out here. All right, Capricorn is representing in the body your shins and circulatory system, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Your bones and your joints. Apologies. Focus on ambition, responsibility, and practicality. December 22nd through January 19th could be relevant. Portal 10. Venus affects the way you care for others. Okay? Focus on love and focus on yourself. Self-love, baby. We got air signs that came on out, baby. We got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So that's twice for the Libra. You guys are thinkers. You give good advice. You're friendly, analytical. You need to focus on that. Think about giving good advice versus the bad advice. Think about being more friendly, and I believe some of you need to be less analytical. Okay? Focus on your movement in order to understand your intellect and communication. That's from Minnesota and Nevada, but you know the air moves, baby, so it could be for any of us. Portal 12 is the spirit of the West, which is, we're in the spirit of the West right now. Autumn, fall, okay? Endings and transformation is here. It's forcing you to face introspection and healing. It is a need for balance and harmony. Need for emotional healing. Ooh, somebody needs some healing. We always do. It starts with you facing yourself, and it's easier coming out my mouth. I'm trying to tell you, that thing be like back, when you fighting yourself. But don't indulge in that fight too much either. Embrace it and understand what's going on. Ask it, what the hell are you talking about? Ask that joint. Ask it. What are you talking about? What? Disseminating moon is in the energy. All right, finish your projects. Finish them projects. Comment below. I am committed to finishing my projects. All right, finish them. The only way we learn is if we make mistakes, and I am saying that to myself just as much as I'm saying it to you, and I'm applying it to myself even more. And it does not happen overnight. You cannot rush this process, beloveds. It does not happen overnight. It is something that we all have to continuously embrace, right? With love. Embrace it. All right, Minnesota and Nevada. We're getting ready to pull out the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. And then we're going to go ahead into the music. And then the universal laws and yes, no, maybe questions. Alright, so let's get into the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. What synchronizations is going to come out today? What letters and numbers should we be aware of today? Everything is living and breathing. Everything has a spiritual meaning, a metaphysical meaning, right? Yes, they do. Alright, let's get to the bottom of the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. We got the number 7. The month of July, all right, Minnesota and Nevada. Spiritual awakening, divine protection, and good fortune. All right, the letters G, P, Y. Grammar, grace, God. Pineal gland, prophet, philosophy, yearn, yielding, youth. All right, it's also associated with wisdom, eagle, hawk, horse, flame, fork. Camel, Mars, fire. Okay. (666) or 6666. You're finding the balance between material and spiritual needs, okay? Or you need to. You need to prioritize your self-care. Love on you, love on you, love on you. Embrace harmony and study Ma'at, the 42 laws of Ma'at. Ma'at is here embracing balance and providing balance for you. So we have the following letters R and Q, and then the last here is J and K. Okay, that's 4 for our ABCs and our 1, 2, 3s. Letter R, spiritual meaning. 444 on the timer. 12:53 on the clock. The spiritual meaning of the letter R encompasses various interpretations. All right, in Hebrew, it corresponds to Resh, meaning head, and is associated with the pineal gland. We mentioned that, right? In Kabbalah, it holds a numerical value of 200 and represents the element of water, signifying emotions and intuition. The letter R is often linked to themes of rebirth, renewal, and resilience. Wait. All right, so now we're going to go to the letter Q. All right, the letter Q, with its origins in ancient alphabets, provides a fascinating glimpse into the linguistic and cultural evolution across civilizations, tracing back to the Phoenician alphabet, where it represented a sound akin to K. Q has been transformed through time into the letter we recognize today. The historical journey not only highlights its phonetic form, but also underscores its evolving role in communication and expression. In spiritual context, letters are often seen as more than mere symbols. They are conduits of energy. The positioning of Q as the 17th letter of the English alphabet suggests its association with spiritual awakening and enlightenment. All right, let me pause this real quick. All right, beloveds. So now we have the letters K and the letters J. The letter J symbolizes divine power, joy, journey, and justice, reflecting its rich spiritual significance across various traditions. It corresponds to Yod in the Hebrew alphabet, okay? Let's see. J is 10. The number 10. All right, so K. The letter K symbolizes knowledge, transformation, and spiritual growth, representing a connection to higher consciousness and the duality of existence. All right, so you got knowledge and wisdom, transformation and personal growth, kundalini energy, balance and duality, cosmic justice and karma, the connection to higher chakras. All right. Time for some music. Music and rhythm, universal language and code for all life forces, all life beings. What is the music that's going to talk to us about, or sing to us about, or rap to us about? All right, or harmonize with us about Minnesota and Nevada. All right. Ew. But they broke though. All right, let's get to the bottom of the music, please and thank you. Nothing's there. Your manager is an agent. So whoever's in Minnesota and Nevada, you have a manager that is an agent, okay? You have a manager that is an agent. They have no limit to their destruction. We got G-Eazy, no limit. Secrets are there. A Boogie with the hoodie. A Boogie with the hoodie. So your manager is an agent. This could be dealing with Minnesota and Nevada. Okay? Take it how it resonates. They have no limit to the secrets that they're holding. Alright? I Can't by Otonio. I can't just sit and talk. All right, so we can no longer just sit around and talk. All right, you have to make an action on whether or not you're still going to deal with this agent or not. Okay, and it's based on your own discernment. So we got Grind on Me by Pretty Ricky, and then we also got Love by Kendrick Lamar and Zachary Picaldo. All right, so grind on me. It could be saying that your manager is trying to sexually assault you. All right. Pretty Ricky, March 14, 2005, Atlantic Static Major, RIAA, White Dog, Big Cat, Tommy Boy, Blue Star, Diamond Baby Blue Smith, Miami, Florida, 1997, still active. Spectacular Smith, Corey Slickum Mathis, Marcus Pleasure P. Cooper, Martin Sitcom, 24 million PPP loans. And then you have Love by Kendrick Lamar and Zachary Picado. I have the following dates: October 2nd, 2017, June 17th, 1987. Okay. I also have Duckworth, Compton, California, 22 Grammys, K. Dot, Gangster Disciples, West Side Pirates, 2018 Pulitzer Prize, 1992 LA Riots, Teddy Walton, 2005 Top Dog Entertainment, Aftermath, Interscope, Soundwave, Jungle City, Manhattan, No Excuses, Santa Monica, New Zealand, Portugal, Australia, Canada, Ireland, UK, Slovakia, 2018 Pulitzer Prize. I said that already, but yep, you got all that. So maybe their managers are agents or were agents. Okay. Maybe these artists know of managers that are agents. That's a contract of death. Okay? You're drowning. You'll be drowning. And your manager that's the agent will be saying, I don't give a fuck. Alright, so drowning. A Boogie with the hoodie. Alright? Came out twice. He came out with The Secrets. Bringing you the gems right now. Maybe his manager is an agent. And that was a contract of death. Alright? Maybe all of these artists here were signed to a contract of death and their managers were agents. Maybe you are an artist or you got something going on or a creator in Minnesota and Nevada. Right? And your manager is an agent and that contract is of death. Right? You'll be drowning. You're drowning. You're drowning. And Lil Jon and the East Side Boys sitting up there telling your manager and your agent, like, I don't give a fuck. You are broker now that you sign. Woo. Music is talking to y'all, baby. Come on now. We got Lovers and Friends and Stand Out, okay? So your broker, now that you signed out, now that you signed that contract, you got a whole bunch of lovers and friends around you, okay? And they trying to make sure they stand out, not you, okay? Lovers and Friends. We got the dates: November 9th, 2004, 1995 through 2005. All right, we got Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, Usher, Ludacris, and Atlanta, Georgia. 2024 Democratic National Convention, As Above, So Below. You got BME, San Francisco Bay Area, As Above, So Below. Chapter 2 Bankruptcy, Kings of Crunk, Headquarters, Universal Republic Records, NHL Hartsfield Jackson Airport, Michael Sterling, Lil Bo, Big Sam, Black Market, and TBT. You gotta be never scared, like Bone Crusher, right? You gotta be never scared. Don't focus on stunting like your daddy. Be you. Be authentic, okay? Bone Crusher said, you ain't never scared. I ain't never scared, all right? And stop stunting like your daddy, Lil Wayne. Never's your nine portals for music. These artists could very well have managers that are agents and signed to a contract of death. Or you living in Minnesota and Nevada, or for any of you, take it how it resonates. Okay. Be natural. This house of mine stands strong, like Imagine Dragons told you. So we have come to universal laws and the yes, no, maybe portion. Get into it. get to the bottom of the universal laws. I have not committed adultery. Alright? That should be a top law there. You have not committed adultery. A lot of us not even sexually active at the moment. I have not falsely accused anyone. Alright? This is for Minnesota and Nevada, but take it how it resonates in your own life as well. Land. Focus on the land. A deep connection with one's ancestry and inheritance, nurturing force. This could be talking about the land in Minnesota and Nevada. As above, so below. Source of life, renewal, beyond physical, sign of abundance, balance, harmony, motherhood. I have not acted with insolence. We got the B negative bloodline that came out here. The magic rebels. Yeah. Or the rebel mage. Sorry, the rebel mage. B negative bloodline. No fear to challenge the norm. You rewrite the rules. You draw on the force of lightning and wind. You reverse curses. You're enigmatic aura. You have enigmatic aura. And you deflect negative energy. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. I know that's right. I learned to just mind my doggone. That's the easiest thing I have. Mind my business, stay in my own lane, and just focus on self. And it might seem a little selfish, but you have to get to that point where you love yourself. We pour out to so many things, so many beings. Everything is living. Everything is living, right? Everything is breathing and living. So we don't realize how much we're pouring into just the world in general and not pouring into ourselves. Portal 7. I have not made anyone cry intentionally or with harm. All right. We got an O positive protector out here. That's the bloodline of the O positive. You have strong grounding energy, unshakable force, natural protectors. You have defensive magic. You're an aura of safety. You affect energy around you. You are the guardian. All right, you are the guardian. Towers are destroyed. Oops, sorry about that. Towers are destroyed. No more destruction or chaos. Old ways are collapsed. You make way for your new life, babes. You got, I have not stolen food, grains, or offerings. All right, beloveds. I have not cursed any, especially the divine. I have not polluted myself. And here's your 13th portal. Ma'at has the final say, which is the balance within you, right? Everything starts within. Everything is within you, I, us. Yeah, so with that poem, that was just off the top of my head. Now, you know, most writers, now you got to go back and add more to it, touch it up. I might not, though. Make sure it's not on my tea. All right. Here we go. You got your yes, no, maybes out here. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Ooh, are we excited? You got your yes, no, maybe questions coming on out, okay? So this is the opportunity for you to ask yourselves out loud, if you can, 3 questions, right? Before each question, you're going to take a deep breath in for like maybe 5 seconds. Then you're going to hold that breath for like maybe 7 to 9 seconds, and then you're going to release and ask that question, okay? And I'm going to provide the answer. So let's take a deep, an answer to assist you with your final answer, right? Let's take a deep breath in. Release. All right, go ahead and ask that question. Be clear. Be concise. Have structure to your question. Don't make it too long. All right, here's your answer. Maybe you need to rethink that option, okay? Maybe you need to rethink your option. All right? You can either ask yourself the same question or move on to the next question. Let's take a deep breath in. Release. Go ahead and ask that question. Ooh. Oh, I know your answer. Clear. All right, go ahead. Here's your answer. Yes, with all caps. With all caps. All right, let's go ahead on into that third question. Take a deep breath in. Release. Let it out. Go ahead and ask that question. You know when you want that release, when you're breathing in, beloved, you want to make sure your belly is poked out like a balloon, like a pregnant 9-month-old woman. Right? She 9 months pregnant. And then when you release, you want to be able to release to where that stomach is touching the back of your back, baby. All right. Here's your answer. Ain't nothing there? Let's see. Oh my goodness. It says yes, go for it, right? And I was going to pick the top card, but I was like, let me do the bottom like I normally do. But guess what the top says? Hell yes. So whatever that question was, go for it. And that's a hell yes with all caps. All right. That's amazing. We rebuke all spells, rituals, and castings that are not of the highest frequencies of source level consciousness that may have been projected our way on all timelines, planes, and dimensions. Consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. Knowingly and unknowingly. Anything and everything that we are connected to spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and ethereally, they are all protected. All is transmuted into whatever was sent to me. And then it's sent back to its source because we're all sovereign and free. Any agreements and contracts that we may have agreed to while we were being on lower paradigms of existence of consciousness, they are all cut and they are all ended on all timelines, planes, and dimensions. Consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. Knowingly and unknowingly. We are sovereign. We are sovereign. We are sovereign. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. All right, beloveds. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Now you want to say that in increments of 3, 6, or 9 in order to make your dream, your vision, or your manifestation come to life. Or say any prayer. Say it with your chest and say it in repetitions of 3, 6, or 9. All right, let's get this bell rung and get these energies and spirits on out of here and enjoy your journey. And I love you. Thank you to all energies and life forms. You are now to leave. You are not to linger. Right? You are to take all of your energy with you, and you are not to come back unless you are told to. We thank you. We do not welcome any negative or manipulative energies towards I or the collective, right? As we do not, and I mean we do not put that in the atmosphere. Ashe. Much peace, much light, much love, but especially much what? Darkness.